Sommers is the president of the American Petroleum Institute. He joins us now. So here's a headline from Bloomberg. Kamala Harris once trashed fracking and Pennsylvania hasn't forgotten. What can you tell us about why she would have changed her opinion and when we might hear the reasons why she thinks she changed?
Look, it's good news that Kamala Harris has reversed her position on fracking. And it's great news that it's now a bipartisan issue, that you have to be for hydraulic fracturing in the United States if you want to get elected president. It's a very big deal in Pennsylvania and Ohio and, of course, the great state of Texas. But we need to make sure that we're producing more products here in the United States, particularly oil and gas.
How can you believe her?
Well, I think, unfortunately, the Biden-Harris administration, what they have done is they have tried to put a real foot on the throat of American oil and gas since they started their administration. And what we have to believe is their actions, not their words. And what we've seen continually is everywhere that they can stop production, they're trying to. We're going to have the first year this year where we're not going to have a lease sale since 1966 in the offshore Gulf of Mexico, where we get a significant amount of our oil and gas. Everything that they're doing on public lands. The leasing on public lands is down 95% in this country.
But, Mike, I do the 5 every day. And Jessica Tarloff, the Democrat that's on the show, she says, but we are producing more oil than ever. And I know that Kamala Harris doesn't want to wear that as a badge of honor in this hall because climate change is such a big issue for them, and they don't love that. But why is Jessica right or wrong?
This is because, despite Biden policies, not because of Biden policies. Unfortunately, everywhere they can stop production, they are. Most of that new production is happening on private lands in the Permian Basin in Texas, but it's not happening on public lands where we still receive a lot of oil and gas from this country.
So Chicago's $5 a gallon. Surprised to see that. I mean, national average like $3.49, which isn't terrible, but it's higher than it was when Donald Trump was in office, and he went after it this way just this week.
I will tell the frackers and energy workers of Pennsylvania to drill, baby, drill. And she's totally a non-fracker, you know that. Until a few months ago, she said, oh, it's for just like on tips. We're not going to tax tips. All of a sudden, she comes out and she says the same thing. She's like trying to copy my policy.
That's the first time I've heard the phrase non-fracker, but maybe that sticks, Mike.
I like it.
Well, look, we know for a fact that we're going to have to produce more oil and gas in this country because energy demand is going up in the United States and throughout the world, not down. In fact, we expect that it's going to go up 50% in the next 10 years. Wow. Where's that oil and gas going to come from? Is it going to come from regimes that are hostile to Americans' interests, or are we going to be producing it here in the United States?
Put that into the context of what she could say to this crowd about climate change if she is now for fracking.
Absolutely. And we, again, as a country, we're the #1 producer of oil and gas in the world right now. If we lose that posture, if we lose that energy leadership that we have fought so hard for decades and decades, what does that mean for our posture in the world from an energy security perspective? We need to continue to lead the world, and we need our allies to be getting oil and gas from our country.
I tell you, Mike, if you took $3.49 down to $1.89, it would help a lot with inflation.
That's exactly right.
It would help a lot with the middle-class families and the voters that this crowd is trying to reach all week long.
That's right.
Yeah.
And American families are going to depend on oil and gas for decades and decades to come. And again,
and we can do it in a cleaner way than anyone else.
We produce it cleaner than anywhere else in the world.
Thank you, Mike.
Exactly.
See you, sir.
Great to have you, Mike Sommers.